Hi, welcome to my first Flosstube. My name is Hannah. I'm from Minnesota, and I decided that I wanted to make a Flosstube. I absolutely love watching them, and I decided, well, why not? I have a ton of projects and thought, well, maybe other people would like to see what I'm stitching, as I love to watch and see what other people are stitching and get ideas. So I think I'm going to do a little bit about me, and then I decided that I would just show all my whips, as I would say a lot of them tend to get worked on throughout the week, as I have a hard time even just stitching on one project for an entire day. So I thought, well, okay, I have 20 or so whips, and I don't know, I'd say I easily work on 3, maybe even 4 of them a day. So they tend to get out a lot, aside from a very select few that I don't know, they're not my favorite to work on. So anyways, about me, my name, as I said, was Hannah. And I think I said I'm from Minnesota. I live in the St. Paul area. I'm actually in a suburb of St. Paul. And I am 27. I think I'm 27. Kind of tend to forget sometimes. I have been married for 5 years to my wonderful husband, and we have one baby, or son. He just turned 1 in August, and he is currently at my grandma's house. She is watching him for the night, so I decided it would be the perfect time to sit down and make this Flosstube. So I started stitching when I was a kid. I don't remember how old I was. My first project was one of those little mini kits that you get from Joann's at the time, and it was a little crown and it said princess. I do not have that project, as my great grandma was in the nursing home at the time, and I actually was working on it when we went to visit her, because she lived in Illinois, and I decided to give her that. So I gave her that. She is no longer with us, but I don't know what happened to it. I mean, whatever. So then, as a teenager, I started to try and get into it a little bit. I did not have the patience. I would sit down and I'd be like, oh, let's do this cute project, and sit down and maybe work on it for a couple hours, and I wasn't seeing the progress that I wanted to see. I was like, I wanted the instant gratification, and obviously cross stitch doesn't really give you that. So I didn't really do too much. I'd start a project here and there, but it turns out I'm not very good at being a monogamous stitcher, and that's kind of what I had to do. My mom cross-stitched, and I actually have a couple of pieces of hers that I might show off sometime. I like them. I am no longer in contact with my mom, so it's kind of nice to have them. But she did some really lovely pieces. My favorite is probably a horse that she stitched me when I was a kid. She stopped probably sometime while I was in elementary school. And I mean, she'd pick it up here and there, but she never really stuck with it. So fast forward to 2019, we decided to go on a road trip. We were going away for 2 weeks. We were planning on trying to get pregnant, and so we decided to take a nice pre-baby honeymoon, since we knew it would probably be a minute before we were able to actually go on vacation again. So I decided that I wanted a project for while we were driving, because we were going all the way out to Montana, Utah, Colorado. So it was just a really nice long trip, but lots of driving. So I found a book with a project that I liked, and that was the first time that I was like, oh wow, there's actually like a lot out here now. When I was a teenager, there was very few things that interested me that I actually, wanted to stitch. So I was kind of shocked to find the whole like Etsy world of cross stitch patterns, and I was like, I kind of want to get back into this. I really like some of these. So I picked up my project. I got, I think, 25 count data, and I was just like, I started it and I'm like, this looks like not great, so scrap that. Went and got myself, I think, some 14 count data and started the project. And I will actually show that in a little bit because it's still not finished. So after that, we got home, continued to work on that, and I also started to do other projects. I did some Christmas gifts and just started some other things. And then in 2020, when things started to shut down, I decided I got into it even more because at that time I was then pregnant, and I decided to quit my job as a pizza delivery driver because with COVID being so new and all that, we didn't know what the effects would be on a pregnant woman, if it would, affect the baby. And so we decided that just for my safety and for our baby's safety, that I would quit my job and just stay home. So I had a lot of free time. So with that, I picked up cross stitching and really got into it. So I have a few projects from I have at least one from 2019, maybe two, a couple from 2020, and then I took a break again around June, July, somewhere around there, as I got really pregnant, and I did a few other things, and then I got pregnant, then I had my baby in August, and I didn't really stitch too much then because, well, I had a newborn, and I was very tired, and having a newborn and stitching, and when you're really tired, just didn't seem like a great mix. So then, May, I think, of this year, I got the stitching bug again. And with that, I think I have around 20-some whips. Some older, a lot are newer. So, with that, let me show you what I am working on, what I have been working on, and I think that's probably just going to be a lot of whips. My life is fairly boring, so there probably won't be too much for life updates. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I hang out with my kid all day, stitch while he naps, stitch after he goes to bed, so, not a lot happening over here, except for a lot of stitching. So, let's see here. Let me find. So the one that I started before we went on our trip was one from this book, Magical Cross Stitch. And it has a lot of really fun patterns. The one I decided to do is the Wizard Magic Picture. I love the little kitty under the hat. There's a cute little owl. There's some Kryneck in here. And I, of course, bought the wrong Kryneck because, I was a new stitcher. And so it kind of sucks to work on. But I am powering through. This piece still have a long way to go. It's not ironed. I probably never will iron my pieces because, they're whips. Still working on them. So I have, a fair bit done, but I still have a long way to go. As you can see, like, in here, there's, like, a ton of Kryneck. See if I can show. Got all, like, So much sparkle. I love it. Needle minder I made. It's just like, I think a necklace charm or something from Joann's. Threw a magnet on it and called it a day. So this is my probably oldest whip. It's got a couple different colors of Krynic. Lots of floss. It doesn't get as much work as I'd like it to, unfortunately. I had really hoped to maybe finish it this year. It ain't happening. So, maybe next year. Maybe, I hope. Well, this one's right here. So this is one I'm actually doing for my friend. It is from the world of cross stitch. All right. No, it's from just cross stitch. And I actually don't have the magazine for it, unfortunately. It was from a magazine. Let's see, should be right in here. It's not too old. I got it this year. Here we go. It's from the world of cross stitch. And I believe it is by, Ann Stokes. So I seen this, I loved it, and I decided that I had to do it for my best friend, because she also likes dragons. Sorry for the up close there, but probably not gonna edit because I don't know how to do that. This one, I think it gave an estimated time of like 70 hours, and it is going to take that. Okay. I have put, I don't know how many hours into this. Here it is. It's beautiful. The colors in it are amazing. But it's a lot of confetti. Like a few stitches here and there of each color. And it's all in greens. So many greens. Oh. I would say all of my fabric is just from Joann's, Michael's, or Hobby Lobby. I do not have fancy fabrics. I have like a handful that I got from our local stitching shop, Stitchville. But to me, spending money on the fancy fabrics and stuff, while fun, don't get me wrong, isn't where I want to put my money in cross stitching. I'd rather spend it on patterns, floss, things like that. I am perfectly fine just stitching on the fabrics that I get from those places. I do dye my own fabrics, so if I do want like a certain color or something, I just dye it. Sure, it takes a little more time, but I have fun with it. So that's what I do. I don't really feel like spending 25, 30 bucks for a small piece of fabric that maybe will work for my project, maybe it won't. Like, I'll just dye it. That way if I have some trial and error, you know, maybe I'll find one that's like, oh, this is perfect, and another one, I don't know. I have it for another project, and I'm not out a ton of money. So that's what I do. So a lot of the fabrics that are dyed, I most likely have dyed. Otherwise, a lot of it is just like this one here. This is maybe the Fiddler's Cloth from Joann's. And I think it's 18 count. Yeah, I think it's 18 count. I do tend to primarily stitch on Aida. I do have a few projects on even weave and one on linen. So far, I'm not a huge fan of linen, but I'm not going to discount linen just yet. And I will talk more about that later. So there's this one. This one I'm trying to get done before Christmas, so I can give it to my friend. I'd wanted to get it done this month, but turns out that it's a lot more work than I anticipated. So then I'll just come on to this one here. This is my folder that I keep all my PDFs that I'm currently working on in. I have 2 more folders with PDFs that I'm not working on. They're just, you know, ones that I want to do at some point here. So I think I have, yeah. So my next one is this one. It's by DMC something on Etsy. Nope, there's no name. And this one I started in 2020. There's not a lot done on it, and I'm honestly debating if I'm even going to keep this one. But I love the oranges, pinks, and blues. It's on an opal Ada 14 count from Hobby Lobby. So I love the colors. It's just, I don't know. It's not necessarily my favorite to stitch, but you know, maybe sometime in the future I'll be like, you know what, let's you know, do this one and let's knock it out. So it's not huge. It's only 110 by 110. So, I mean, really, if I wanted to, I could probably knock it out pretty quickly. Another one by that same one, this is when I first really got into it, is this one here. I'm doing this one for my husband, but this sky up here, it's all this really dark blue, and I am just, I don't know. I am struggling to enjoy this one. But, I mean, I have a page done, so I don't really want to, you know, not finish it. So this is what I have. It's on black Ada, 14 count. Nothing fancy, but I don't know. I really should get back to this one. Just finish it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, sometimes when you have like projects this far in, it's really hard to want to stop working on them, even if you don't really enjoy stitching them, because you're like, God, I put so much time and effort into this already. Like, if I just put a few more weeks into it, I could get it done. So I really need to do that. Stitching this dark blue on this black has just been a bear. And that's a little bit, I think, where, you know, I'm not enjoying it. I think if I would have done it on white Ada, I probably wouldn't hate it as much as I do. So, yeah, we'll see. This one doesn't come out very often, also because I don't like it. But I also really want to finish it for him. He didn't pick it out. He has no idea I'm stitching it. So, I mean, you know, however long it takes me, it takes me. Let's see. I don't know what's in this bag. Oh, this bag. This one, it's full of thread. I made all my fabric project bags they're made very shoddily. I mean, they work. There's no holes in them. But there's no, like, interfacing or anything in them. But I'm cheap. I have a lot of fabric in my stash. I have zippers in my stash. I think these are actually invisible zippers because that's what I had. And I wanted project bags. So, that's what I did. So this one. I love this book. Okay, I got it at Barnes & Noble, 20 bucks. It has tons of patterns from Stitch Rovia, Satsuma Street, Tiny Modernist, Doreen Jones. Love all of them. Stitch Rovia and Tiny Modernist, though, are, oh my god, I love their patterns. So I got this, and see, I decided to do the Mandala Magic. I loved these. They're beautiful, and it's kind of hard to see, but I can't show you, you know. I'm doing this one right here. It's a little lotus. My hope is to do at least 3 of them and make them into like just little mini pillows. Right now I just have one. I'm just doing it on like a scrap of dyed fabric that I dyed myself. And this is where I am. This one I'm hoping to pull out and at least finish this mandala this month. Let's see. The needle minder is from Hobby Lobby. They have like 2 little packs. One that has like little bees, and the other one I don't remember because I don't think I bought it. So I'm working on this one. I'm going to probably do one more mandala on this fabric. Maybe 2 if I can squeeze them in. And then I want to make them into little pillows to display probably next summer. Yep, mini to fill out. And then I want to do like everything else in this book because I love all of them. There are so many great patterns. Once I finish the mandalas, probably this one, because I love it. So if you like any of them, get this. It's awesome. And I mean, so many of the patterns are like already on their Etsy shops. So it's like, okay, I'm going to save so much money by just getting this versus buying those patterns through Etsy. All right. Another project bag I made. This one's a little nicer, but again, like I said, I didn't do like any interfacing or anything, so. Ooh, okay, so this is Spider Banner by Alessandra Adelaide Needleworks. I got this from Stitchville. They have a model stitched, and while looking for a Halloween pattern, I seen it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. Now, I hate spiders, okay, but I mean, come on. Like the way the web is done, I mean, the spider, I don't know if you can really see that, but I mean, just how like detailed and intricate it looks is just, oh, I love it. So this is where I am. I got the top corner done, just all in DMC. Again, this is just, I think, 14 count Aida that I dyed myself. And I'm hoping to get this done by next Halloween. Obviously, it is not going to get done by this Halloween, but maybe next. I love it, and it is going to definitely be a focus next year. Okay. Okay, I lied. This is my oldest whip. I think I started it in like 16, maybe? While I was unemployed. I was gonna make it for my grandma. I still might make it for my grandma. It is this little bookmark here. And this is where I am at. Needle minder is another one that I just made myself. Little narwhal. So this one doesn't come out too often. I only really bring it out. So I am part of the Enchanted Stitchers on Facebook, and they do challenges based on like Disney movies. And so this one I sometimes bring out when they ask for like an oldest whip. Being this is my oldest whip, I'll throw in 250 stitches and call it a day, put it away. It's not my favorite, but again, I got a lot done on it. I've only really got like some border and then like this up here. So if I really wanted to, I could probably finish it in a day or two. I don't really want to. So, and since, you know, I'm here, this is a stitch I finished last year. Can't remember who it was by. Seller on Etsy. I will try to put it in the show notes just in case anybody likes it. So it's cute. It was fun to stitch. I was originally going to put it in my son's room. I still might, but we'll see. And again, I think not all, most of my projects are done with DMC because that's cheap. So that's what a good majority of them are. Okay, this one. So me and my husband celebrated our 5th anniversary earlier this year in August, and I was itching to do another Heaven and Earth design. I have one other one going, and I decided that I wanted to stitch something for him. So I asked him to look through their minis. I didn't really want to stitch a huge ass one. And this is the one he chose. Mini Captain Claw. So I have a small start on it. I've only worked on it one day. It will be coming out though this week and probably next week. So I should have a little bit of progress on it by the next time I show it. This is the project bag I have for it. Some fun fabric that's been in my stash for who knows how long. Ah, that's where my purple poop went. So, like I said, this is a small start. This is Easy Count Graded Ada that I got from 123 Stitch. I think it's 28 count. And I'm doing it 10th stitch over 1. Because I don't want it to be huge, and I also would really love to finish it maybe next year. But it is, even as a mini, it's still 20-some pages. So, yeah, we'll see. But hopefully next year, well, we'll see. I'm not necessarily holding my breath. All right. So, I told you how much I love Tiny Modernist. So, I am doing the Zodiac Sal. If you don't know what a sal is, it's a stitch along. It started at the beginning of the year. I did not jump in until June. So, I'd hope to catch up by September. It's September. I am not caught up. So, I have, I think, 4 of them done. And I haven't really had a chance to work on it too much. So hopefully it'll get pulled out again soon. But the crab kind of killed me. So this is what it looks like. And keep forgetting where I put it. This is where I'm at. So as you can see, I have 4 of them done, working on Aries. I have had to frog this a lot. Like, it's gotten to be a bit much sometimes. I don't know why I keep miscounting, but these circles are just, they're killing me. They are killing me. I think I've had to frog at least small sections of each circle. And I think that's a little bit why I just haven't worked on it as much as I should. This needle minder is from Etsy. I bought it a really long time ago, so I don't know what shop it's from. So yeah, I love it. I love the colors. I love everything about it. It's really hard though to stay motivated on something, at least for me, when every time I stitch, I find something I have to frog. So yeah. I think I'm going to try and maybe I should really try and do at least one a month. I'll never catch up. I have accepted this fact, and that's okay. But I'd still really like to catch up on it and try, or not catch up, but at least try and finish it within a reasonable amount of time. So this should be coming out again soon. I do try to throw it into the enchanted stitching fairly often, just so I can at least get some stitches on it. All right. This is a newer whip. I started this last Friday. It's very small. And it is from, let's see, it's right here. It's Meow at the Moon from Sweet Wing Studio. And I believe this was an expo design. So I was at Stitchville, I seen this, and I'm like, this is absolutely adorable. It's so cute. So I had to stitch it. It's really small, it's 56 by 61. And it uses DMC. So I'm not quite halfway, but I'm getting there. I put in like a day and a couple hours in there. This needle minder, cute. I got this from Stitchville. Fabric I dyed myself. So I'm debating if I want to do the border that's on it. Yeah, let me pull this out. So as you can see, there's like just a little bit of like border like right in here. And I'm not sure if I want to stitch that. I've stitched some of it up, as you kind of see. But as you can see, it kind of blends in with my fabric. So I may opt out of that. I may decide to just not stitch that and just stitch the kitty looking out the window. I'll probably make this into a little pillow or frame it. I think if I frame it, it will be better since I'm debating on the border. So if I decide not to do the border, I think it would look better framed. So that's what I'm thinking. So I'm having a lot of fun with this one. It's really cute. Again, like I said, it's all DMC. I think 14 count Ada. That one I'm hoping to have finished by next month. I'm probably not going to put too much more time into it this month, as I have a few other projects that I feel I should give more attention to, partly due to the upcoming holiday of Halloween. Alrighty, I have a Emma Congdon or Stitchrovia design that I have from the Animal Favorites cross stitch, and this one I started last year. My kid ripped the page out, so it's just kind of hanging on by a thread here. So this here, super cute. I love it. It's a lot of backstitch. I don't love that. So this one's going kind of slow. I recently made it my 25/7 project that I've seen a lot of Flosstubers do, and I thought I should do that because that would really help me with, I feel like it'll really help me with projects that I don't necessarily love working on, but I like the design. And this is one of them. I like the design, but I'm kind of tired of working on it. I have put a lot of work into it this year already, and it's a lot of back stitching, and I don't know. I'm having a hard time. This is Luffy. He's my puppers. He's an okay puppers, but we love him. Might see him every now and then. Yes, hi. Hi. Is my stuffing your way? I'm sorry. Kind of. Okay. Anyway, this is what I have done on it so far. I have my Bumblebee needle minder on here, and I probably should put it back. So as you can see, I'm currently working in this section here, and a little bit here. This is the needle minder I put on after I took the Bumblebee off. It was a button that I got from Joann's. My husband took the back off, and I threw a magnet on it. So unfortunately, one of the eyes fell out, but it's cute. I like it, and I needed needle minders. I was running out, and like I said, I'm kind of cheap, so I tend not to buy from Etsy, and I just buy the stuff and make my own, because why not? Alrighty, next one. This one, my goal is to finish by the end of this month. It is by Foxwood Crossing, and it's Witchy Woman Apothecary. I love this. Okay. It says, Witchy Woman Apothecary, spells, hexes, potions, brews, charms, cures, bound to heal what haunts you. And then, I guess I missed the magic there. I also got this from Stitchville. So Stitchville is in Minnetonka, and my grandma lives in Minnetonka, so when I go drop my kid off, I have a bad habit of stopping there and spending a lot of money. Alright, so this is where I am. It actually stitched up really quick because it's just letters, so I really don't think I will have an issue finishing it this month, if not early October. Another needle minder I made. So this actually has a mixture of flosses. We have DMC Coloris and DMC, and then a Classic Colorworks. And I did decide to go with them because, I mean, look at this Classic Colorworks. It is such a beautiful variegated purple. I absolutely love it. Purple is my favorite color, so I love it. And then the Coloris is like, this is like purple, brown, green. Oops, sorry, wasn't showing that. Super pretty. So got this. This is done on, again, a DMC, or DMCC. An Ada, I think it's 14 or 16 count, and I hand dyed it. My needle minder fell off. This needle minder isn't great. It's got some cheap magnets. I know I use better magnets, but it still works, so I use it. Oops, let's put the pattern back in there. Alrighty. Alright, so this one is from Just Cross Stitch. It's an older magazine, 88. And I'm actually doing the one right on the cover. I seen this and I had to stitch her. I love it. Not really sure why, but it's so pretty. This one is done on linen, I believe. Again, all DMC. The linen just came from Joann's. I am not a huge fan of it. I don't like it. Maybe it's just because it's a cheaper linen. So I'm not going to discount linen just because of this, one time of using it. I will probably try a better quality linen at some point. And I'm not going to, stop this project because of it, because I do like how it's looking on here. And I also think it's really good practice for linen, because this is my first time stitching on it. And so I feel like it's good practice for future projects if I want to use linen. I'm not very far. I have just a little bit in the corner done. My needle minder. So I just have a little bit of up in here. She hasn't gotten a ton of time yet. I worked on her 2 days ago, but just for a little bit. So hopefully, I really want to focus on her next month because she feels very fall to me. And so I would really like to do some fall stitching with her. So she will probably get a bit more love next month. Maybe a few days here and there this month, we'll see. Okay, this one I love. So I recently discovered the primitive hair, thanks to another Flosstuber. And so I was going through her Etsy shop, and I was like, I have to stitch this. I have to. This is Selkie, and I love her. It might also have to do a little bit with an artist I like, Blackbriar. They have a song called Selkie, and it's really good. So I think that's also a little bit why I had to stitch her. She is done, I believe, on Ada. Yeah, she's done on Ada. Like a cream colored Ada. And her, I'm determined to finish her this year because I love her. Let me take this needle minder off. This is the needle minder. Again, I have a bad magnet and then a good magnet, so it kind of hangs funny. So I'm just going to take that off. Anywho, this is where I am. So I have some of the seaweed, a little bit of the sea lion, and part of her hair. Not as far as I want to be, but I don't see why I couldn't finish her. Wait, her fin is super dense, so that's going to probably take a while. But I have been trying to fit her into any prompt that I can for the enchanted stitching, and she should get at least another 250 stitches in this week, making that about 500 stitches this week for her, as I already did 250. So you will probably see this one pretty often, being that I really want to finish her. She is actually done with mostly classic colorworks. So I have a few. My classic colorworks are all kind of a mess. Sorry. It's how I work. There's also some gentle art, weeks dye, and this really pretty threadworks. Let's see. And there's also some DMC. So this pattern actually used a few various threads and colors. So that's fun. I do enjoy using fancy floss, but I don't like buying it. For me, it's definitely like a cost thing. Like, okay, I can buy the fancy floss, $2.50. Okay, it's beautiful. Is it much different to me than DMC? Not really, except for the variegation in some of them. So I kind of have a hard time justifying it when DMC is 60 cents and the others are around $2.50 a piece. Especially because I like to start. I pretty much always have major startitis. So, although silks, I love me some silks. So I do kind of tend to splurge on silk because it's so nice to work with. Alrighty, so I actually have 2 projects on this fabric. I again dyed this myself, and I suppose I should actually show you. Oh my goodness, I am very, very unprepared here. I'm gonna do this time. You don't have to let's see. Where did it go? From one of the Halloween. Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Maybe I can figure out editing. I don't know. Let's see if I feel like it. So this one is from this year's Just Cross Stitch Halloween. And it is, you've probably seen it if you've watched any of the flip throughs of this magazine. Oh, come on. Where'd it go? I keep passing it. So, oh, here we go. So I am doing this one right here. The Yum Ghoul Lamp. And I thought it was so cute. So I had to do it. So I actually started this one this week. And that's where I am. I had to go and buy some floss for it. Because turns out I didn't have any 414, 413 anywheres. Or 415. So hopefully I'll finish this one this month. This one is just one that I did, last month, I think. We wish you a happy Halloween. And that's from the 2020 Halloween one. And then, I'm sure also many of you have seen, let's see if it's just back here, the Lazy Witch. I feel like a Flosstuber I watch has just recently showed that one. Who was it though? Was it? Oh, I think it was Steel City Stitchers. One of them just finished it. So, Lazy Witch. I mean, come on. Who doesn't love a sloth in a witch's hat? Of course, that's what I have. So, maybe we need to get a little more work on it. This one is also one that I really want to finish this month. So that way I can get them made into little pillows for Halloween. And I love this. I don't know what I'm going to do on this section, but I gotta do something. I freaking love it. I think I did a good job on this one, if I do say so myself. And the needle minder was from Stitchville. Alright. This next one is also from a magazine. And this one, okay, I'm really up in the air with it. This is one I've had to frog a lot. Partly due to I probably should have made a working copy. I probably should still make a working copy. I have kind of used this as a working copy though. So, I can't really do anything with this magazine after. But I am doing this sampler. One of the few samplers that I actually like. I am not a sampler stitcher. You will see very few samplers on this. I have this one. I have one by Tiny Modernist that I guess would maybe be considered a sampler. And then I have an actual sampler. And I kind of hate working on them. This one I do like. I love the green water and the little whale. This one I have like changed the flags, and I plan on, if I continue this one, and then I plan on darkening the ship to more of a like dark browns to make it more piratey looking, I guess. But like there's been a lot of miscounts, and like I'm up in here and like for some reason I miscounted somewhere, and I don't know where. I'm probably just gonna go with it because that's what I do. I don't like to frog, and if I can, I just kind of wing it. This is one though I hate to just kind of stop because I've gotten a lot done. Like if I put in like a good, I don't know, maybe 3-4 days into this, I could have the top page finished, which would be like pretty much like all of this. So I really like it, and I like working on it, but it just, yeah, the rope around it, I have to figure that out. So this one has been on kind of a hiatus. I originally wanted to finish it this year, but it's probably not gonna happen just because I'm a little frustrated, and this one's kind of in timeout. Another little needle minder I made. So this is on 14 count something or other from Hobby Lobby, and it's all done in DMC. And this is from Cross Stitch 89, I think. Back when you could buy a magazine for $2.95. How I wish. It's probably the only project I'll do out of here, but I really like the ship, so that's that one. Yeah, I really like it. It's just so much frogging. The sails are also off somewhere, and I'm just kind of working around it. Like I said, I swear I'm just the queen of figuring it out because I hate frogging. Now, this one I know I've seen floating around a few times. Not as much as I wish I seen it floating around Flosstube, but every now and then. And that is, sorry, When Witches Go Riding by the Tiny Modernist. I was doing really good. I had the first one up, like, or finished in like 2 weeks. Okay. And then new projects called to me, and we're a little behind. It's also some stuff I gotta take out. Like one of the crows is a little bit too big. Oops. This is on a fancy fabric that I got from Stitchville. It's called Mystic Gray, and it's 18 count. I have no idea who it's by. They didn't put it, so that's what the tag looks like. No idea who it's by. I did the 2020 Sal on this same fabric, actually. So here's where I am. I'm going to try really hard to catch up and get the next 2 sections done by the end of the month, or at the very least still have it completed by the end of October when part 4 comes out. I'm making no promises to myself, but I'm going to try because I really love this and I'd really like to keep up. So we'll see. I've been putting in a little bit more time into it this month. I think I've already worked on it 3 days, maybe? I think I've worked on it 3 days so far this month. Another cute little needle minder. I love how sparkly it is. Probably should put one of my like fun little button ones. I think I have 2 more that aren't on projects that are probably be a little bit more suited to this. So this one I am actually using the Classic Colorworks that is called for. She charts us in either Classic Colorworks or all DMC. I think there's 4 Classic Colorworks and 2 DMC. So I'll show this one because it's new and hasn't been opened yet. So these are the 2 of them, Mossy and Rainy Day. I love Rainy Day. It's so pretty. Mossy is nice too. and then baking tin. And then black and the white are just DMC. I really love that about her sales though, is that she makes it very minimal, so it's just a few colors, and it's really nice. You know, makes it not too terrible to like kit up. All right, 4 more. We're getting there. So this is my, I think my last Tiny Modernist that I have going. I started this last year. I love it. All right, I love it. I love how it looks. I love the fabric I have for it, which is again a fancy fabric. Ooh. This one is Alaskan Blue, 14 count Aida. I hate stitching all the little flowers. To me, this is like right up there with like a sampler. And I don't enjoy stitching a bunch of little motifs, and that's okay. So this one I'm thinking after I finish the bees will be my 25/7, just so I can try and finish it. Because I want to finish it. I love it, but I don't love stitching it. So I think if I can just do it for like 25 minutes a day, maybe I can knock it out. So this is Unicorn Tapestry. And this is where I'm at. I mean, I have, you know, a good amount done. The colors are great. And I love it. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, I don't like all the tiny motifs. I really struggle with that. So, it unfortunately doesn't get a ton of love. That one is done in all DMCs. And the fabric is, like I said, 14 count Alaskan Blue. It's really pretty. Alrighty. My Mira. Oh, I love my Mirabilia. This is my first Mirabilia. I saw her and I had to do her. This is Cathedral Wood Goddess. And she is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. She is done on even weave. I don't remember what count. This is just an even weave, either from Michael's or Joann's. She's done 2/2 except for her skin, which I am doing over 1. And this is where I'm at with her. So I've got a little bit of arm, lots of cry neck in here. Like a lot of this section is just cry neck. So I don't hate stitching it. I thought that the cry neck would be terrible. It's not. I just found use tiny strands and go slow. And you know, it's turning out beautifully. So I am really enjoying her. I wanted to originally finish her by the end of this year. That's probably not going to happen unless, you know, something changes. And I haven't worked on her in a minute because I've been really focusing on Halloween projects and Selkie and a few other just various projects. But I really need to get back to her, and hopefully next month, I think. Maybe I'll get a day or 2 into her this month. We'll see. All right. Then this one is by Emma Congdon's Cross Stitch for the Earth. And I'm sure you've seen this one before. It is the Seasons one. It has no name. I have seen a few people on Flosstube doing this one, and I love it. I mean, I love like everything in here, and I'm actually hoping to start another one from this book soon. Sorry, soonish. Because this one's gonna take a minute. This one is not a high priority piece. I throw in a few stitches here and there. I did work on it this week, so I did get a few stitches in this week. But like I said, it's not high priority. It's just kind of stitch on it when I feel like it. So this is what I have, just starting in spring. Needle minder is from Hobby Lobby. I'm just doing it on white Aida. Decided that that's just kind of what it would work best with. So yeah, not a lot done. Like I said, I just pull it out every now and then and put a few stitches in. And I'm fine with that. There's no rush. This one, there's no rush. Just kind of, when I feel like it, I feel like it. It's one of those where I really like stitching on it because there's like blocks of color. So, you know, it's just nice to, when I don't want to like really think too hard, like with the dragon. The dragon, I'm just like, oh my god, the dragon. There are nights I get like 50 stitches in an hour. Just to give you an idea of like the pace with that one. Or this one, you know, I can probably get, I don't know, 150-ish, 100, let's say 100 stitches, maybe 120 in an hour, something like that. So definitely much more relaxing. And my final whip. So this one I started for the cross stitch camp, and it was supposed to be finished in August. I did not finish it in August. Like I said, I don't love working on it. And I also almost ran out of floss, so I had to go buy some floss. And by the time I was able to get to Stitchville to buy the floss, I think it was September. So it didn't work out, and that's okay. So this is Antique Evergreen Sampler by Elizabeth Needlework Design. I actually got this at Stitchville in their clearance section, and I really like it. So this one, I should finish this month. That is the goal. I only have like this here, and then like a little bit like of just like touching up on the border. So I'm really close to finishing this. I kind of stitched on it a lot one day, and I decided that I hated it. I still kind of hate it, but you know, I love the design. I just don't like stitching it. So there's some like initials here, and my son's room is a woodsy forest theme. So I'm actually probably gonna put this in his room, and I'm gonna change these to his initials, MJL. So that's the plan for that. I dyed the fabric myself, and it's muted, and I like that. Like, I do. I really like it. I did have to sub some colors because one of the colors that it called for like didn't really show up on this. And that's okay. So this is where I'm at. Like, I've got a lot done. I'm gonna move the needle minder. Sorry about that. Didn't really notice that. There we go. So there we are. It's cute, and it's really not that big. It's only, what was it, 100? I think it's 120, yeah, 124 by 137. So it's not big at all. And I think it's on 18, it's either an 18 or 16 count. And yeah, I really like it. I like how it looks. I like, you know, that it's not like super bright. Oh, sorry about that. But yeah, I don't like working on it. But I'm really close, so I really, really want to push through and make this a finish this month. All right. That is all for my current whips. So, let me see here. I had kind of made like a little list. All right. Plans. I have a few things I want to start. We will see if I decide to start them. A little bit is like, as you've seen, I have a lot of stuff. I have a few that I actually really, really want to finish this month. So I know there's probably going to be at least one start next week. I don't know which one it's going to be though. There's a few. There's a Mandalorian one that I would like to start that I got off of Etsy. I'd really like to start that for my husband for Christmas. So if I start anything, it really should be that. And there's also one from the latest, I think it's Cross Stitcher. And it's this cute little witch that I want to start. I have to dye fabric for that one though. So I don't know if I'll get to that one this coming week. Schedule. So I'm hoping to do every other week. I don't think I will do every week because I don't know that I can fit that in. Like I said, I have a 1-year-old, and while he's really good, I don't know that I necessarily want to give up my one nap where I have time to stitch to make this. So I think it's really going to depend on, for starters, how much I get done stitching wise. And also, I mean, the feedback I get. If I get really good feedback, then you know what, maybe I'll figure out times in the evening to make this. If it's pretty slow going, then, you know, I might just kind of do it as, you know, I have time. And the reason I made this is not, you know, to show off or get views. It's a bit, my reasonings for this was, for starters, for me to be able to see the progress I make. You know, sometimes you're like, when you're sitting there staring at a project for so long, you kind of forget like how much progress you're actually making. So that's reason number one. Number two is, you know, I see a lot of stitchers, and a lot of floss tubers who are stitching, you know, samplers and, you know, just stuff that is like, oh, that's really pretty, but that's not necessarily something I love watching. Like, I don't mind, but, you know, it's really fun to be enabled. And a lot of times those people don't really enable me. And I don't find a ton of stitchers who are stitching, you know, the stuff I do. You know, I feel like a lot of floss tubers are mostly sampler based. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that there are still a ton that stitch similar stuff, but I don't know. I guess I just wanted to, you know, not be another person that's not necessarily a sampler stitcher for the people who don't like watching sampler stitchers. And three, I just thought it'd be fun. Like, yeah, I just thought it'd be fun. So, I think that's it. Like I said, we'll see if I end up editing. I don't know. I don't know. I'll take the time. We'll see. Next time, I will probably just show what I've been working on. So I'll probably be trying to keep better track of that. I will probably not be the type of person who's like, I put in this many stitches. Because, quite frankly, I don't know. I'm not going to keep track. I kind of just keep track in my head of how many days I stitch on a project. Because, well, I have a fairly good memory. So, I'm able to do that. So, I think that's it. Thank you for watching. Feedback. If you have any feedback for me, things that I should do differently, that you prefer, leave me a comment. Tell me. This is my first one. This is my first time doing this. I've never done anything for YouTube before. So, you know, let me know. Give me feedback. You're not going to hurt my feelings. So, thank you.